So I'm going to discuss love because love is a really interesting topic to discuss. So love is an energy that or word that people tend to use a lot in this world, within relationships, or towards their parents, towards their partner, or towards the rest of humanity, and saying things like love will heal the world, and love is the answer, and love will solve everything. However, we don't ever seem to stop and look at what love is and where love comes from as this energy, as this energetic experience within ourselves, because it's fascinating, that someone says love and it's like we all know what that person means with that love. We all know how love feels, or most of us, or so it seems. So where does this originate from? Where does this love come from? How come we all have the same, or more or less the same, perception and understanding of what love is? How come we all use that word love and we mean the same thing? Because it's actually fascinating, the very fact that love is a word that is used so much by so many people. Well, obviously that implies that love is a system. Love is a systematic expression, like a program. Like a program that exists within each human being, and, well, obviously you will have maybe some broken computers that will not have this program for some reason, but most of us will have love programmed into us, the love experience and the love word. So okay, so it's a program. And if we have a look at just what kind of program the human being is, or just what kind of system and computer the human being as the mind is, as the way the brain is hotwired, then we'll notice that the human being is a system of survival, that the brain, like the basics of the brain, is about survival. That is the human existence on Earth, survival. It is in the reptilian brain, it is in the limbic brain, which are the brains that is like our unconscious and our subconscious. And the reptile brain exists within animals as well, and the limbic brain exists within most mammals. And all those brains, and then you have the cortex on top of that, but the basics of our brain is the reptile and the limbic brain, so those brains are specifically survival. Those are like specific survival programs that exist within those basal brains that exist in the core of our brain. The cortex, that which we think with, that which we juggle words around in our mind, and that which we use to give meaning to reality, that is just like a layer on top of everything. It's like a sugar coating on top of the two other brains So basically the cortex is like, it's not who we are. I mean, it's like the conscious mind. It only exists on top of the unconscious and the subconscious. So basically the conscious mind is like not even really who we are. That's how the conscious mind is where we modulate and moderate our expressions, basically lie. So and if we look at the expression of love and the feeling of love, which is attached to the word love, exists in the cortex, exists in the understanding of the cortex, because it is a word that we have learned attached to a certain energetic experience within ourselves. And if we look at the type of energetic experience that exists within ourselves attached to the word love, I mean, it's interesting that to realize that, you know, love is a feeling that only humans feel. Like the whole love is beautiful experience. And which implies that it's a product of the cortex of the human being, which is basically a lie. I mean, because the cortex is a lie. I mean, the cortex is the modulation and moderation of the basic basal brain of the reptile and the limbic system within the brain, which is the survival system. And the cortex is the layer on top of that the human uses to change its behavior, to basically find more intricate and specialized ways to deceive and manipulate its environment for survival, because you have to take into consideration that our basic foundational structure of our brain, which is the reptile and the limbic system, is a system of survival. So that's who we are in the core of our being. So everything we do is based upon upon survival. So love is a part of that. Love and our perception of love and our understanding of love and our experience of love and our communication of love is based upon survival. And we don't immediately see that because we exist within the cortex, because we're not aware of the actual hot wiring of our own brain. We're not aware of the subconscious and unconscious mind within ourselves. So we're actually lost in the lie that we tell ourselves and other human beings that is all based on survival. Okay, so love is something that we use to manipulate our environment with, so we can survive. And the idea that the human being possesses any kind of unconditional love that is compassionate and that is all-encompassing, and the idea that the human being is in some way a benevolent being that actually cares more about life, and that it is animals and nature that are the systems of survival and that don't give a crap about anything or anyone else. Well, that's just an illusion, actually, because like I said, the cortex is but the layer on top of the reptile and the limbic brain. So the reptile and the limbic brain is like the bottom of the pyramid, where it's like the brain works in an upward movement. So first you have the reptile brain, and then you have the limbic brain, and then you have the cortex. So basically in our perception and in our experience of ourselves, we first go through the two basic basal brains, and then we get into the cortex, which implies that the cortex and our very thinking patterns are entirely colored in by the survival instincts. So nothing about who we think we are, or about the love that we experience within ourselves towards others or towards the world or anything, is truly anything more than simply survival. Everything about ourselves is survival. And the thing about love, experiences of love, compassion and stuff like that, these are conscious concepts. And within our conscious mind, we will not see the truth of ourselves. And the truth of ourselves just so happens to be the exact opposite of the conscious mind. The exact opposite of love and compassion and all those words that we like to use so much. Because things like love is what we use to be able to survive. So we make it seem as though we love other people and we love the world and we're such a loving person so that we may be accepted within society. That's all it is. It's a survival mechanism. So yeah, that's basically the system of the human, and where and how love fits into all of that. So for now, that's about what I have to say about that. And if you are interested in getting to know the human system, getting to know yourself and disentangling yourself as the human system, as the mind, and basically stopping the lie of the conscious mind, I would suggest go visit that Destiny website and start your process of stopping the mind through applying self-forgiveness and self-honesty and self-correction. Thanks for listening.